Top 5 UFC Flyweight Brandon Royval, by mistake, who is back in action come the 15th of January. Brandon.
Wait, how do you say the nickname?
Road Dog.
Oh, I love that. Oh, go ahead.
I did want to ask about that, but we'll jump straight into it. A guy from my hometown, Darren Till, often uses the term Road Dog. So have you and Darren got any beef? Is there any chance we see Royval versus Till?
Right, Royval versus Till. Tell him to make 125, and I got that shit for sure. If he makes 125, I'm pretty confident in that fight. I'll be fighting skeleton. Yeah, man, I love the way he says it. I feel like it was bad timing. I made my UFC debut right when he was saying Raw Dog all the time. So I don't know. It was bad timing. I wish that I made a UFC debut like a month before he started using it, but it's bad timing.
How long have you had that nickname? Has that been your nickname throughout your career?
Probably like an amateur is when I first started. Like, I didn't go by it at all because I was like, fuck using that nickname, you know. But as an amateur, they were like a dude in the crowd was yelling, "Raw dog him, Brandon, raw dog him," and then like kind of just kept making jokes about it. And they're all like, "Brandon Raw Dog Royval," and they would say that forever. And one day, when my first fight on TV, I just wanted to see if they'd say it, you know. So I put it in there, and they said it, and I knocked the dude out. And I was just like, "Fuck it, we're rolling with this nickname now, I guess." And then also I couldn't lose it too. So I tried to drop it a few times and it never really worked out.
Factory X, one thing about Factory X, as much as you've got great fighters, you've got great nicknames. We've got them the Raw Dog, we've got the Moroccan Devil, we've got Alexander the Great, we've got Lionheart. It's a gym full of great nicknames.
Yeah, it is a gym full of great nicknames. I try to like give people nicknames on the way up, but it's always like I add Raw Dog to it. Try to make a bunch of juniors, you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you my nickname from my friends off camera. But what is training camp been like? We've got this fight against Rogerio Bontorin. What is training camp been like for you?
This training camp's been really fun, man. Just kind of like mainly focused drilling. I feel like my whole entire career I've been just going at it hard and just kind of like I'm getting older, you know, just being specific and just improving more mindset and mind IQ wise and all that stuff and just putting damage on the body. So I feel like I went about it really sophisticated this time, and I think that'll help me out for my fight in itself too. What
are your opinions on Bontorin's style as a style matchup in conjunction with you?
Yeah, so I don't know. I kind of wonder like how he's gonna come at me specifically. But he has like a little bit of a lolling, like chill, like laid back, like waiting for me to counter. Like I assume, like based off of my last fights and like how I've done in my fights, I've been big on just rushing people and kind of getting in their face. So I assume his plan's probably to counter me and just waiting on that. So I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that's a little bit of his game plan coming in. And I just saw that motherfucker just came off of I don't know if it's true or not, if it's like tainted supplements or whatever, but you know, maybe we'll just go put the gas on him and see how he's gonna do without roids this time, you know.
I wanted to talk about your fight style because it's just uber entertaining. You go at people, you don't care, you take risks. And what I basically want to ask you, Brandon, is that when you fight, is it a conscious decision, or do you just get lost in the moment? Do you just love the fight, and does it just happen naturally?
The Kai Kara France fight and the Pantoja fight was very much a conscious decision to go out there and kind of make it wild. And the Kai Kara France fight specifically was because when we're going out there, like all the fights, and I'm not trying to diss on any fighters or anything, but they were the most exciting fights beforehand. And right when I walked out there, Alex the Great, who's my cornerman, he's like, "Hey, that 50 G's is yours if you want it. Go get that 50 G's." And I was like, "Yeah, fight of the night's mine for sure." So I definitely wanted to go push the pace in that Kai Kara France fight. And then for the Pantoja fight, I knew that it would be ideal if I could gas him out the first round and I could pick up from there. You know, I knew my cardio would probably be better than his, and I wanted to make things a little chaotic the first round, but then the second round I did a little bit of the same and fucked up.
I was doing a little bit of prep in getting ready for talking with you today, and I saw a comparison online that I thought was quite interesting. I wanted to run it by you. I saw a comparison saying that Brandon Royval almost fights like a smaller weight class Tony Ferguson. Can you see?
I hate that comparison, man. I like it. I like it because Tony Ferguson's obviously like the man and stuff, but I don't know. I got a lot of Nate Diaz comparisons. That's what I like a lot because Nick Diaz is probably my favorite fighter. But anytime I can get compared to like a Diaz brother, and those are like my favorite fighters coming up. So that's a little bit of it. But I know I do a lot of dumb spinning shit sometimes too. So I get a little bit more of the Tony Ferguson. I throw a lot of kicks and stuff too, so I get the Tony Ferguson comparison for sure. And I'm a little lengthy for my weight class and a little wild. So yeah, we'll try to break off and I don't know, be my own person this next fight. See if I can change some things.
Well, listen, you joined the UFC in May 2020 on a week's notice, 2 weeks notice against a vet and Tim Elliott. And in just 4 fights in a year and a half, you're a mainstay. You're really at the top of this division. I guess when you took that fight against Elliott, did you think this first 18 months as a UFC fighter would be the way it has, in your opinion?
Yeah, no, I did not really expect any of that, man. I was taking a fight with Tim Elliott, and I didn't know what his ranking was. I was going to say yes to whoever it was for the UFC, obviously, but I didn't know what his ranking was. And then once we were kind of like in Vegas, I was looking up all of it. I'm like, damn, this dude's number 10 right now. And I was like, if I win this fight, then like I kind of already mapped it out. I was like, then who do I call out, you know? And I was really pissed about how I performed in that fight, so I didn't call out anybody. But it was like, ideally, I was kind of narrating my track. I was like, I could fight Kai Car France next. That was my plan to call out right after the Tim Elliott fight if I did good or whatever. And kind of messed up on that, but I got the Kai Car France fight anyways. And I don't know, man, it was weird because I haven't won a fight in a while, and I still go up the rankings because how small the division is. So the last person I beat was Kai Car France, and he's been doing so amazing. He's just been helping me out. So shout out to him, man, honestly.
I did want to say that we obviously can't do MMA math, but you look at the win Cara Francis just had, and I think you're the last guy to beat him. That only makes your second round submission over him even more impressive.
Yeah, and I think I'm the only person to get a finish over him, at least in the UFC. So, I mean, that's something to be proud of, I guess. But definitely not resting on that last performance with him, man. I definitely want to show something more exciting, something that I could rest on until the next fight, until the next buzz. So, but all power to him. I feel like that's been a little bit motivating too. Is just seeing him do great things was awesome, and it's just like, okay, I could brush shoulders with him and I can hang with him or whatever. I know MMA math's weird, and it's like I don't have Kai Car Francis power at all, so it's like I can say whatever I want, but it's like I'm not just stopping fights in 1 second like he is. So it's all different matchups, different MMA math, but it is really cool to see him do good, man.
As we mentioned a couple of minutes ago, you're coming off the back of back-to-back losses over the current champ Brandon Moreno and Pantoja, as you mentioned. Is there something specific, given this little run of losses, that you think you're going to work on and you're going to try and improve on, that you've maybe added to your game?
It's just being like being myself. Obviously, chaos is what wins me fights. Chaos a little bit, but I'm also like I don't really fight that way at the gym necessarily. I feel like I go out there and fight, and like 2 seconds go by, and I'm like, all right, I need to make something happen right now, And in the gym, I'm very just like counterish, I'm chilling, I'm staying long, so it's just being a little smart. I obviously want to make a fight happen and rush him and like do all that, like make chaos happen, but just chilling a little bit too is obviously good. I feel like I want to get fights over with so bad sometimes that it's like I don't just enjoy the moment of having a fight, like and just being in the middle of a fight, and that becomes a little bit of an issue. Like I start to rush things when I don't need to rush it, It's like I have enough cardio to go 15 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever it is. And it's like I don't need to get a finish first round every time or second round every time and just rush to the finish. Just chill, enjoy a fight, and then find the finish when it comes, but I don't need to rush it,
Do you ever, this might be a personal question, but do you ever worry that you might gas out because you fight at such a high pace and you push the pace so much? Do you ever worry that could be a possibility?
No, I am confident in my cardio. And if I'm gonna gas out, I know that motherfucker's gassing out for sure. So it's like if I'm gassing out, I know I push the pace where this dude's gassing out too. And I believe in my cardio, and more importantly, I believe in my recovery. I believe that I recover really quickly, and I think that'll always keep me ahead of everybody.
Yeah, I wanted to mention.
But I can see what you're saying.
No, as I say, you don't fight with a high pace, you fight with an extremely high pace, and it's just something that I wondered, was it on your mind that potentially it could happen one day?
No, I don't think about that. I definitely think like I'm from Denver, Colorado, and it's like a mile high in altitude. So it's like my cardio is great out here. For a Colorado athlete, I smoke everybody in cardio as it is, and it's like I believe in my cardio in the Mile High City. I'll smoke anybody and put on that kind of pace. But it's like when I go down to Vegas, it's like nothing to me. But it is funny because my coach looked over, like I could hear my coach like in between rounds. He's like, "Look at Pantoja, he's tired." And I'm like, "Damn, I wonder what I look like right now." Because I was like feeling like I'm breathing probably a little heavy. Like I was tired, but I knew I wasn't what some of these guys are, you know.
I noticed as well, and I wanted to bring this up, that I've watched your LFA and your UFC catalogue the last couple of days. One thing that I've noticed in between rounds with you and Marc, you have a back and forth conversation. It's not a coach yelling instructions to a fighter. You'll give your input and you'll say, "Oh, I think it was the Pantoja fight. You said, "Oh, I'm making the same mistake as I did in another fight," or something like that. How kind of in the moment are you in a fight? Can you hear everything that's going on between Marc and Alex
I can find Marc wherever, man. I've known that guy for like 12 years, and I'm a soldier, man. I always feel like that, and that's the general. And it's like he said something, I listen, you know. And I feel like I've trained my mind to even do that in the sense of we're doing, like, I think he was mad at the team because they're half-assed and I was killing it. But somebody was half-assed and he got mad and made us like work our asses off. We had to like run and do a bunch of crap, and we're in trouble. We're virtually in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I think everybody's having a hard time with it, but it was just like, okay, like this is the general. He gives a command or an order, and it's like I'm just gonna follow through, you know. And it's like that's how I think about it in practice, and that's how I'm gonna think about it in a fight, you know. And for me, it's important to be conscious. And like I've been in the middle of a fight where I've been in a war, and some dude coach is talking to me. There's one dude has like grabbing me, like fixing my cut. The other dude's grabbing my head or whatever it is, and it's like I didn't hear anything he said. So I feel like I found a way to get better, and the way I do it is communicate and repeat what he says constantly. Is whatever he says, I'm gonna repeat it back and then go off of that.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it's something to want to mention is your skill set is so creative. You have ability to throw kicks into elbows, into knees, into guillotines, off the charts, jiu-jitsu and reversals. I guess what I want to ask Brandon is how can you stay so creative in the octagon in such a high pressure scenario?
Yeah, you know what it really is, and like somebody said it first, and I just stole the idea off like an article I read or whatever that I tagged in. But it's just I don't give a shit to be on my back. Like I don't care at all. If I'm on my back, I'm almost more comfortable. I like my whole jiu-jitsu style is fighting off my back for the most part, and it's like I always just feel like I'm a little bit safer there and a little less out of danger there. So it just gives me the freedom to do whatever the fuck I want, you know. It's like if you take me down, whatever, I'm gonna get my guard back. I always feel like that. Like if I get taken down or whatever it is, I'm gonna eventually get my guard back. Once I get my guard back, and then I'm no longer in danger. Like you're the one in danger, in my opinion. So it's just one of those things that I feel like I can be creative. I could throw head kicks. I can try to do all this crazy crap, go turn my back and all that stuff, because if I feel like I get taken down, for the most part, I feel like I can get my guard back, you know. And I mean that Pantoja fight, like saying it now feels dumb because that Pantoja fight, but all the rest of my career is just as soon as I get my guard back, I'm fine, you know. And nobody can do damage, nobody can do anything, and all of that.
Are you perhaps one of them fighters who, as opposed to the guard being a negative position, you see it as a positive? You want to be in your guard? In a way?
Yeah, because it's either I'm gonna gas you out, I'm gonna attack a million things. If you and if you give me enough space to avoid my submissions, I'm gonna get the fuck up, you know. So it's like it doesn't really matter to me. It's just a position where if you take me there, I'm either a threat to you, or you're gonna give me enough space to get up, and then I'm gonna make you tired, you know. And it's like between all that, I'm gonna put you on the defensive, you know. And I don't like being on my back and just chilling. I like being on my back and attacking and making it making it a positive position as opposed to a negative position, you know.
Yeah. You're fighting on the first event back after Christmas, so I want to ask, what has the Christmas period been like with regards to diet, with regards to staying on top of things? What's that been like for you?
I mean, my weight's good, but it's a fucking horrible, man. I regret taking it, because like right now we're having like this weekend we're having a team party, like a team end of the year party, and they're all like getting together a potluck, and they're like, Brandon, what are you bringing? I'm like, I'm bringing just fucking plates. Like, fuck you guys, can't eat any of your guys' food. So I just like I'm bringing plates, maybe some forks. I don't know. But yeah, it sucked, man. I had to start cutting weight and like taking my diet serious right before Christmas. So it was like that exact timing where it just interfered with everything. And my family are great cooks, man. So I missed out on a bunch of Mexican food and shit. And I guess Bontorin's gonna have to pay for that shit. I guess I don't know.
Well, I did want to mention that because I want to mention the flyweight division. It's a little bit wide open at the moment. We got the title fight going on at the end of the month. We've got Pantoja, probably number one contender. Kara-France and Askarov a match, but where do you think, with a win against Bontorin, where do you feel like you are in this bantamweight, in this flyweight division?
I feel like if I beat Bontorin, I think the best fight for me would be the loser of the title fight. I think that would be the best fight to either get me in a good position or just for the most exciting fight in the flyweight division, man. Is whoever I fight next is going to be Figgy. It's going to be Figgy or me and or Moreno and me. And either one of those fights are going to be crazy. So I think those are the fights to make. I think those are the most exciting fights. And I also just think that'd be the best way for me to get back to that title contention. So, that'd be ideal for me, man.
Who do you lean towards in that world title fight between Moreno and Figueiredo?
Man, who do I want to win? I don't really give a shit like who I'd fight for the title. If that's what you're asking, like, who I'd fight next, because I want to fight both of them down the line. Like, it doesn't matter. I want to compete against both those guys, and I'll eventually compete against both those guys. But as far as like who do I want to win, man, I just like Brandon Moreno, right? He's just like the most wholesome guy ever, and it's like it's hard not to root for him. And I don't know. I think he's becoming a star, and I think it's just good for the division. So maybe I want Brandon Moreno to win, but at the end of the day, I want to fight both those guys.
This might be a difficult question to ask, but obviously off beating you, the way he did with the injury, but Moreno got the win on the night. A couple of weeks later, he fought for the world title. Was it a difficult position for you, knowing that could have been you sliding doors and all of that could have been you in that position?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I knew I had to get that surgery done, so I don't know if I was going to be able to compete the next week for the title, like kind of thing. I mean, maybe I probably would have, because it's just fight after fight after fight, and that's how that Kai Kara-France fight is. Like, I got Kai Kara-France, and then they gave Alex fell out, so I got to film for that Moreno fight. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna use this one training camp to kind of push through. And I knew I had an injury, so it's just like, let's just get this as far as I can go with it, And so I would have definitely took the fight. But yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of both things. I knew that I had to get this done, and them having a fight held up the division, man. Them having a fight and it going to a draw held up the division, and also it brought a lot of star power to the division because it was a super great fight. And so I think all around it was just the best thing that could have happened for the division, and then eventually me,
Yeah. I just want to ask very quickly as well, because as I said earlier, I feel like you're one of the most entertaining, most captivating fighters with a fighting style in the UFC. So Brandon, I'm going to ask you a question. Who are your top 5? Not excluding Brandon Royval, who are your top 5 most entertaining fighters in the UFC?
Right now, or just in general, like ever?
We can go right now, or we can go in general. It's up to you.
Okay, if we're going right now, I'd say Sean O'Malley is probably one of my favorites to watch right now, man. I love watching that kid fight. Sean O'Malley, Corey Sandhagen's amazing. Corey Sandhagen's a great one. Max Holloway, I'd watch every fight he could be in. God damn, there's so many fights. Let me think. Nick Diaz, any Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz fight I'm watching. Oh, Leon Edwards. Oh, Leon Edwards is a southpaw, so like watching him, and goddamn, that guy's like one of those people that don't get enough credit in the rules. Yeah. But watching him fight is just something that I can learn something like every time. I'm like just taking notes from him as a southpaw and all that. So I don't know, man. There's so many great fighters right now that it's just hard to like choose between them. But those are probably like top 5.
Of course. I think, well, I'll leave you with one final question. I won't ask you for a prediction because it's too obvious. But what is the plan for Brandon Royval in 2022? What do you want to accomplish in the next 12 months?
The year 2022 is the year of the dog, man. I just want to take over the division. I just want to let people know that I fucked up, but I'm back, and I'm gonna fix all my wrongs. You know what I'm saying? I want to fix all my wrongs, and I want to just be right back in that talk and the title contention. And then also I just want to grow the flyweight division, man. I want people to put eyes on it. I want to be one of those stars, So just hopefully it's the year of the dog. I could take over,
Year of the Raw Dog. Well, I very much thank you for your time today, and very much look forward to seeing you back in action next Saturday night.
I'd appreciate you, brother. Shout out to EAP Glass, my main sponsor out here in Denver, Colorado. Appreciate you. Appreciate your time, brother. Get some sleep, man. You need that too.
Before it's only 9 p.m, so don't worry. But before we finish, how can people find you on social media?
Just be Royval or Brandon Royval on everything, man.